How many of you have never done judging before? Hands up. Oh, fabulous. We've got some newbies in here. And everybody else who's done it before, hands up. Amazing. So you want to get to know these people because they've done it for a long time and they'll have so many things to share with you to get going into judging. Okay, so what is a judge? So the most important thing, I think, about being a judge is to be that friendly, reassuring and positive face to the teams. With all the tournaments and the finals that I've been to, the judging session always seems to be the part of the day where the children are most nervous. They're always like, oh yeah, the robot game, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. But as soon as you say, oh, we're going to put you in front of a judge, they're like, oh my gosh, really scared, really, really scared. So it's really important to be super friendly, really open with them and assure them the whole time that you're there. Technically, I know it's called a judge, but you're not there to judge them. You're there to get the absolute best out of them. So what you're going to be doing is you will assess the teams on their innovation project, their robot design, and then also their core values. So they will do a presentation, it's about half an hour, the whole time is half an hour. So you'll get chances to ask questions throughout the judging session, but it's on those 3 parts. So say they were asking teams questions and you will score the teams against a set of criteria, which is called the rubrics. So the rubrics we'll go into a little bit later and we're actually going to get you judging some sessions today. So that'll be super fun. So you'll work as a panel of judges, so you'll never be on your own when you are a judge. There's always a minimum of 2 judges and then a maximum of 4. We've done 3 today because I think there were supposed to be 30 of us today, but obviously we've had some people, unfortunately, that had to drop out. So we'll just put you into teams, to panels later on. But yeah, so you look at all 3 elements. And something that's changed from last season is that if anyone's done it obviously before, you'll know that being a judge used to have 1 judge for the innovation project, 1 judge for the robot design, and then 1 for core values. From last season and now continuing to this season and going forward, you will judge the teams as a whole. So there won't be any, I'm just doing this, I'm just doing this. You're going to work together. So bit of teamwork there, bit of core values. So yeah, you're going to work together to judge the teams. And it's really important to say that anybody can be a judge. You really don't have to have done this before. It's obviously fantastic if you have. But yeah, it's super easy. The amount of resources that we give to you guys, you'll be a fantastic seasoned judge in absolutely no time. So don't panic. So we'll have a look at what the teams have been doing. So they'll have been working through their guided sessions in the engineering notebook. So everyone today, you'll see in front of you, you've got a team meeting guide, and then you've also got an engineering notebook. I'm really sorry, but you can't take them home with you. I mean, if you sneak off with one, we don't know, but please don't do that. Yeah, if you can keep them here today, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But we have the team meeting guide, the engineering notebook. So the team meeting guide is for the group leader or the teacher, and they'll go through and it's comprehensive lesson plans. And then each student will use a engineering notebook. So it'll have all the parts, areas where they can write down all their notes about their coding, but they'll follow this through all of the sessions. So what they'll be doing is they're going to be researching the theme, as Lucy mentioned earlier. Researching the theme, identifying a problem within this theme or in their community, and then they create an innovative solution to that problem. They will also then design and build a Lego education robot. So you'll see a little bit later when you look at the refereeing, and we'll have a look at the robots later in the mentoring session as well. Honestly, you will not believe what these kids can achieve. I say you're fairly new. I've been here over a year now, but I still count myself as new. But it's absolutely fantastic when you see what the children have come up with. You think, oh my gosh, I never had this sort of opportunity when I was younger. So to see them at 9 years old, absolutely smashing coding, it's absolutely fantastic. And knowing all about motors, all about sensors, it's absolutely fantastic. So they will really, really blow you away. So yeah, they'll code their robot to complete the Lego mission models on the robot game table. So they'll have 2.5 minutes to complete as many missions as possible to get the highest amount of points. So during their robot design part of the judging session, They will go over their coding, they'll go over what they used. I say it's important that, you don't have to have a massive understanding of obviously coding and everything when you're being a judge, but you will learn about that today with Olivia. But they'll actually teach you a lot of the time. Kids will come up to you and, during the session, and they'll be like, yeah, I've done this, look at all my coding, look at everything that I've done. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, that is absolutely incredible, like super blown away. That's a fantastic part of being a judge, is being absolutely blown away by these absolutely fantastic kids. And they will work towards the first Lego League or first core values. So Lucy touched on them earlier today. So the core values are teamwork, inclusion, impact, innovation, discovery, and then we say most importantly, fun. That's something that we really want to get out there, is that it's supposed to be a really fun opportunity and experience for the children. So that's why we say with being a judge, they get really worried and they get really scared and they kind of go in on themselves. So to remind them that, look, you're here to have fun. You're here because you chose to do this. You want to learn about, these STEM experiences, and the world around you is absolutely fantastic. So, always remind them that they're here to have fun. Okay, so this season is a little bit different when it comes to the robot game. So you'll see a little bit later on the new robot game map, which is absolutely fantastic. It's super different and new this year, and it's just amazing. It's going to be a fantastic season. But there's different energy journeys. So Lucy was talking about earlier with the superpowered theme, that it's looking at the whole journey through the energy source, the storage, and then also the consumption. So you can see on here, say the first one, the energy source is the wind turbine, and then you've got the storage center, and then the consumption is those two little Lego people watching telly. So we've got that explored throughout the entire of the robot game. So we look at also is Project Sparks. So during the team meeting guide and the engineering notebook, from sessions 1 to 4, they'll have what's called a Project Spark. And these are 4 different sparks that provide examples and problems and solutions to their innovation project. So it will help them with their research. It provides the questions, like open-ended questions, which can lead them to discover and discuss more and open up and work as a team. So if, they mention that in their judging session, they think, oh yeah, we use the Project Sparks. That's what it is. It's like a little helper for the first 4 sessions, and then after from session 5, they'll be working then more independently on their innovation project, but it's just there to kind of help them out. Okay, so the structure of a judging session. So as I mentioned earlier, it is 30 minutes. So you'll have 30 minutes with the team. And then after, there'll be a section of time, usually 10 to 15 minutes, where you'll discuss with your panel of judges about what you're going to score them. So first of all, the team enters. There's a welcome and you introduce yourselves, make sure, as an adult, sometimes kids, especially when they're in school, they might think, oh, you got to call people by teachers' names like Mr. Brown or Mr. Just be really friendly with them and be like, oh, hi, my name's Rosie, lovely to meet you guys. And what's your names? Try and put them at ease. In those first 2 minutes, that's like a really, really crucial time. We then have the team presenting their innovation project solution. So that's roughly about 5 minutes. And then you'll have a Q&A. So we'll go into a little bit more detail about resources and everything you'll have later. But you will have some questions that if you think, oh, okay, I really don't know if I've quite got enough out of them, I really want to know a little bit more about this area, that's then your time to ask the questions after they've done their presentation. Same goes with the robot design, another 5 minutes, and then a 5-minute question and answer. And then is core values reflection by the team. So this is when they'll tell you about how they've worked together, whether they've overcome any problems, which usually there is. They were like, oh yeah, we all fell out for a day and then we all worked together and come back together and, made it absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that's when they'll kind of speak about the core values. And then the judges then provide some verbal positive feedback for 5 minutes. So again, it's really important to make sure the team leave with a really positive and fantastic experience. You know, they'll have gone in there, like I said earlier, super nervous, really, really worried. And then they'll come out feeling absolutely fantastic, hopefully, if it all goes well, but I'm sure it will. So they'll have 5 minutes for some feedback, and then the team leaves the room, and then you'll have time to complete the rubrics together. The rubrics, which is here, so it's the set criteria that the teams will score all the different parts on. So the innovation project, the robot design, and then also the core values. So it uses standard language to aid consistent scoring with words like beginning, developing, accomplished, and exceeds. The teams score, you score the teams between 1 to 4 to create a score, which then ranks the teams against others to determine the winner. So we'll go into a little bit more about the judges' deliberation, which goes towards the end of the day before we choose our winners and who gets which award. But those scores that you give them will then go towards that, and then it's automatically processed. And then the judges' questions link to the scoring criteria to help draw out the team's answers. So as I said, you know, if you think, oh God, you are nearly there, you know, you're literally between a 2 and a 3 or a 3 and a 4, ask those questions, because, you know, they'll probably then give you more information and you think, right, okay, fantastic, that's it, a 4, fantastic. So let's have a look at what counts for the different scoring. So scoring number 1 is beginning. So this is the kind of lowest end. So 1 refers to a team that shows little or no evidence of their achievement in this criteria and has not yet achieved the developing standard. So the words that you'll see are minimal, unclear, and limited. You don't see many ones, I don't think. Seasoned judges, do you see many ones?
Rare.
Very rare, yeah. They've come to a tournament or the final or their class pack tournament, and they'll have got some research. They'll have come for a reason. They'll have come with as many resources. They'll come with posters, and sometimes they even come dressed up in costumes and reenact a little bit of a play. So you'll be really surprised what you'll find. But yeah, scoring number 1 isn't very it doesn't happen often. Developing is number 2. So this refers to a team that shows they've made progress towards accomplishing this criteria, but still gives simple or inconsistent evidence in support. So it'll be partial, inconsistent, and simple. Number 3 is accomplished. So this refers to a team that have clearly shown that they've accomplished this criterion and gives clear evidence in support. So they'll have consistent, clear, and detailed. And this is when they've shown that they've gone out and they've thought about it. They've actually, they think, oh yeah, this could be really successful, this solution to this problem. So yeah, we do see a lot of 3s. So something today that we're going to look at is the consistency of judging, because sometimes we find that, people think, oh, I'll give them a 3 when it should maybe be a 2, or, a 2 when it should be a 3. So we'll touch on that a little bit later. And then number 4 is exceed. So this refers to a team that have gone above and beyond the accomplished expectation. So this could be demonstrated in a variety of ways, so it's not prescribed anywhere on the rubric. So this is for the moments when you think, oh my gosh, these kids absolutely have lived and breathed First Leg League Challenge over the last, 10 weeks. They may have gone out and spoken to, they might have had a school trip or a trip to a solar farm, and they've spoken to somebody and, really gone out and researched and went into their community, or brought the absolute wow factor of, yeah, okay, they've come in full costume, they've reenacted things, they've bought posters, everything. And with scoring a number 4, you have to make sure that you are telling us why they have scored a 4. You can't just put a 4 and then not fill anything out. With the rubrics, you must fill something out there. So let us know exactly why they deserve that 4. So how to complete the rubrics. So the panel of judges, with the panel of judges, only one person will complete the rubrics. So you don't have, rubrics per judge member. It's just one for all 2 to 4 of you. You'll complete them after the team has left the judging room. So it's really important to not start filling them out during the session. It's really important to give your teams the absolute full attention. You'll have, you're more than welcome to bring notebooks with you. Some hosts will provide notebooks or provide paper. So then you're more than welcome to write down, oh, okay, that was really good. Or maybe they think, oh, okay, so I'll remember in my Q&A, I'm going to ask them a bit more information about this because they didn't quite hit where I wanted them to be. So make as many notes as you like, but please make sure that you are completing them after they've left the room. Treat every team as an individual. So you may have had an absolutely fantastic 4s across the board team come in just before you, and then you get a team where you think, oh, okay, yeah, there's maybe they're more like 2s and 3s and developing and accomplished. It's really important to treat every single team as if they are brand new eyes, so that you're not comparing them to any other team. I know it might seem like, oh, that can be quite hard because sometimes it's human nature. You just think, oh, well, they were better than that team or this, that, and the other. So yeah, really important that you look at them with fresh eyes. Said you must give them a explanation if you've given a 4, because that explanation of why you've given a 4 may be the reason why out of 2 teams. For a minute I was like, oh my gosh, that is the fire alarm, here we go.
It is on silent, but that's...
Oh, that's all right.
Come on. Wow. It's on silent, but I'm a first aid, and if there's a local heart attack or something, they can call us.
Oh, bless. Oh, my gosh. Oh, God, that's a bit sad. You're like, nah, someone else can get that. Sorry, don't worry. So, yeah, it could be the reason why if there's 2 teams which have scored absolutely, really, really well in the robot design part of it, you think, okay, well, let's have a look at that feedback and let's have a look at why they scored a 4, and then you can determine who should be the one to get that award. Complete each of the 4 sections and then give short feedback at the end of the rubric. So at the end of each part of the rubric, you'll have a good job section, or great job section, and a think about section. So these 2 little feedback boxes are going to be seen by the teams. So it's really important that you are giving them, great feedback, what they've done well. And then the think about part, please don't tell them that they were rubbish or anything like that, because they're going to see it and they'll get upset, obviously. So yeah, please make sure that you're leaving, if you're leaving feedback, be like, oh, it's constructive, and say, you did absolutely fantastic in this part. Maybe next time, think about how you can really, really use this motor to its full potential, or, this sensor to its full potential. So yeah, really important to note that they will see that. And they ask for it like an hour after the tournament ends, because they're so desperate to get that feedback to, go on to either the final or for next year. So, you get those 10, 15 minutes to give them that really valuable feedback. What's next? So very quickly, the judges' deliberation. So this is where you will come together towards the end of the day, and you will be with the host of the tournament. So whether it's us, if we're doing one of our tournaments, or somewhere across the UK, you'll come together at the end and you will discuss why you think that these teams, or discuss who should get which award. So we've got the Champions Award. So this is the one that is the most overall, performed the best over the course of the day. Depending on the size of the tournament, you'll get 1 or 2 champions. So if it's a big tournament, then you might get 2 people that you'll have the 2 Champions Awards. You'll have the Innovation Project Award, so quite self-explanatory, that's the best innovation project. The Robot Design. Then you've got the Core Values Award, the Robot Performance Award. So this is the highest score on the robot game table. And this one is the only one that's not up for discussion because it's just matter of fact. You know, this team got like 350 points. They are the winner. There's the Coach Mentor Award, and then there's also Judges Awards. So on the rubrics, at the top of the rubrics, you'll have a Breakthrough Award, you've got Rising Star, and you've got, I think there's a Motivate Award as well. So you can choose, or you can actually make up your own. That's the beauty of a Judges Award. If you think, wow, you know, this team, like, you know, these guys that you've just seen, they've put on a little show for us and they've done this, done that, and you think, yeah, I'm going to give them an award for that. You're more than welcome to do so. Just come up with a really fun name for it, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. But you can use them as well. So with the innovation project, robot design and core values, that could only go to one team. So apart from the robot performance award, that's the only one where you can get more than one award, because that is just matter of fact. So, you know, if somebody has done absolutely fantastic in the robot design award and they've also then consequently got the robot performance award, they are allowed to do that. But you can't have the champion have also the robot design or the innovation project. But they'll go into more detail about that with your tournament. You'll also have the Coach and Mentor Award, which I always suggest, or when I was doing challenge, I always suggested for hosts to do, because it's such a fantastic way of saying thank you to the coaches as well. Because even though it is obviously all about the kids, the coaches have decided to put them through this experience and, you know, coach them and, you know, bring them to the tournament. So this is where they'll get a little slip, and the teams, sometimes you'll find that the coaches actually write them themselves. You can tell by their handwriting and how glowing the review is. But a lot of the time, the kids will, you know, write down, oh, I think that, you know, Mr. Brown, he should have got this. He should get this award because he stayed late after school. He took us on school trips to get more research. He, you know, X, Y, Z. And then in that judging deliberation as well, you'll get, you know, one or two people which will go through all of them. You'll get like the top 2 or 3, and then as a whole, you'll then decide who gets that award, which is really lovely. And then, so resources available to you. You've got the judging session flowchart. So as I went through earlier, the 30 minutes, minute by minute, you'll get that in. So actually, when you opened where the rubrics were on your laptop or tablet, so that download, you will have these resources on there, and you can obviously go back and look on the website. But it'll have a minute by minute of roughly how you should do the judging session. You'll have the judging session script. So obviously for those who've been doing First Lego League Challenge for, you know, 5+ years, you'll kind of, you know what to ask and what to say. But for those who it's your first year, you're more than welcome to follow the script as closely or as loosely as you like. It is completely up to you. You can't really go wrong. You know, it's just about feeling it. It's like, oh, you know, I actually really want to ask this question. I want to chat to you, and, you know, all these things. Just, it's exactly how you want to do it. We also then have the judging training videos and webinars as well. So they'll come a little bit later on in the season. So don't think we've got any dates set for them yet, but today isn't the only training day that you'll have if you're new. So if you go away today and think, oh my gosh, that is so much information, I am never going to hold all of that in my brain, it's absolutely fine. Like I said, we've got all these resources, we're going to have training. So yeah, don't panic. This is just like a welcome, and this is roughly what everything is. Judges' questions as well, so you've got nice little prompts if, say, they've not quite given you everything that you need. The awards and allocations guides, so it'll have all the awards and a little like blurb next to them of, you know, what they did or what they should have done to deserve the award. And then you'll have the offline rubrics as well, which you've just used today, so you can familiarise yourself with that criteria, so that you know how the wording's going to be, you can understand what you're looking out for. Obviously, you don't need to do that. You can go in and just do it however you like. But obviously, if you'd like to do that, then it is there for you to use. And then finally, after today, so Lucy mentioned earlier that there are IET mandatory training modules that you'll need to go through. So you'll then also be connected to your regional event hosts. So whether that's going to be challenge like today, or when you go and look at reviewing, you're more than welcome to obviously do that as well. But if you just let us know what you're interested in, then we can connect you with those hosts. And then, as I said before, we'll have virtual judge and referee training sessions as well. They're most likely going to be virtually, but they're just as informative as if you're in person. But yeah, I think, oh, I'm 5 minutes over, but that's okay. Has anybody got any questions at all? I'm really sorry if I've given you so much information you think, oh my gosh, I'm literally going to need to have a lie down now. But yeah, does anybody have any questions at all?